Oh, that's perfect. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Wow.
What are you using? Liquid IV?
Some Liquid IV, yeah.
Now, here's over there, of course. Let me just get it all out there. Over there, Forbes, 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the engaged one at Tim Gettys.
That's him, host.
A lot of times people like to listen to the podcast as a secondary thing. You know, they'll watch it on YouTube, but they're not watching it, right? It's going on. I sometimes think of The Office that way.
Oh, same here.
Our office. Where I'm in the other room and I'm listening to your conversations. Occasionally I'll chime in, but usually I'm just chuckling, you know, enjoying the company of my friends, my coworkers, you know what I mean? They don't know I'm listening.
I feel really uncomfortable when you do that.
It's just cool lines from Cool
Then
Greg.
you keep your fucking voice down, all right?
I
don't want to hear you yell at your mom in Spanish, but I have to. So if I have to go through that, I'm going to get the good stuff too.
Hey, that bitch yells first, all right?
Say, stop that.
What? You don't know her.
God.
I do know her, and I agree with Kevin's decision. I'm not 100% sure.
What's up?
But I'm pretty sure there was no camera on, and you snorted liquid IV crystals? Is that what happened?
No.
We went over this in the pre-show.
We talked about it on the pre-show.
I don't know why you guys burn all the good content on the pre-show. Pre-show's supposed to be the worthless content nobody wants. Stop giving up the stories I want.
How that works, though.
That's a joke. I know.
I was opening liquid IV, and I was using my mouth because I couldn't open my thumbs. You know why? Thumbs are a little tender from a lot of Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
Are they swollen up? Let me see.
A lot of Mario Maker.
Oh,
like getting that callus from it's like when I play guitar a lot.
Sure.
So I'm trying to open it up with my mouth, and then I just and it just popped in my face. So I had all this white over me. And then I coughed, and it was just a cloud of that. And so Joey turns around and sees me looks like I just did a fucking line with fucking Tony Montana. Yeah. So yeah, that was the liquid IV story.
Okay, good. Just
but now it's in my bloodstream now.
How you feeling? Are you hydrated in your bloodstream?
The thing is, you snort it hits you faster.
Of course, yeah, you boof it.
Much faster.
It's a big boofing story.
That's not the boofing. No, that's boofing is different than snorting.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. You know what I mean? Before we get to the rigmarole, you know what I mean? I like to give you appetizers, little stories. I've been living a fun little moment of my worlds colliding over on my email, and I haven't shared it with you guys, of course, because we're never in the same room, let alone we don't get this is the only time we ever talk during the week, which isn't a joke. There's a real chance we ever get to talk. This week, we're sending the one and only Cool Greg Gettys to PlayStation to see Concrete Genie, right?
Graffiti game.
Yeah, a graffiti game. Cool Greg, I think, #1 Concrete Genie fan. I've played it in VR. I thought it was stunning. I still can't touch what Cool Greg's excitement level is for this game. I'm going to start with the epilogue, then go forward, right? I just had the moment where Cool Greg walked in. He's like, hey, can I tweet that I'm going to see Concrete Genie this week or whatever? And I was like, I don't really know. Sony can be tough about that. So I called PlayStation because it's run by the PR on it is one of my good friends. She's like, it should be okay. Let me check. She went and checked. It comes back and she's like, all right, Cool Greg is allowed to tweet, and he can even confirm the embargo if he wants for Concrete Genie, right? And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, that's a fun little synopsis of what's going on.
Cool Greg is now the face of Concrete Genie.
But here's where it gets better for me, of course. You know, my entire video game career, right, has been covering PlayStation. So I know the ins, I know the outs. They know me over there quite well. And so when they hit me up about this event, as they often are in our industry, it's a save the date kind of thing. Like, hey, this is coming up. And I hit them back up. I'm like, I'm super in. One of our coworkers here is super, super high in this game. I'd love to can we do 2 spots?
Super
high, period. Can we do 2 spots, period? And they were like, we don't know. So it's been a back and forth about Concrete Genie for a while. Finally, they hit me up and they were like, all right, cool. We can only do 1 slot, at least for the beginning. Who do you want to send or whatever? And I was like, I'm going to send Greg Gettys. He's going to come. He's going to do it. And they responded back, and we went a few times like, all right, cool. We're very excited to see Tim. And I was like, no, that it wasn't a typo. It's Tim's brother, Greg. I know my name's Greg too. Greg Gettys is coming. And they're like, all right, cool. And so then the chains that have been going back and forth about when he's coming
we missed him.
have been calling him Other Greg. And so finally they were like, all right, cool. We want to send him his confirmation and all this stuff. Should we just send it to Other Greg at kindoffunny.com? And I was like, no. And I actually say it. I'm like, no, it's actually Cool Greg. Cool Greg. And I had to put a period. I am not joking. We call him Cool Greg. I am regular Greg. He is Cool Greg. So today to get I was like waiting for an email response of just lols or whatever. Never got it. And then so today I got the text of the confirmation. Cool Greg is allowed to confirm all this Concrete Genie
love
stuff. And I was like, there you go. Kind of funny intersecting with the world of PlayStation. If you didn't know, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table. Each come to talk to you about their lives and whatever else is happening under the sun. If you like that, you should be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunny. Over there, you can get the show early, ad-free. You can watch it as we record it and get more Kinda Funny than anybody else. But if you don't have any bucks to toss our way to get it when it posts early, no big deal. You can wait till it goes up on youtube.com/kindafunny. Rooster Teeth and podcast services around the globe each and every Friday. Tim?
Yes.
It's done my heart well to see you. Because, of course, I went to Comic-Con on Wednesday. You came down to Comic-Con on Thursday. We didn't see each other. You texted me to say you'd made it to the panel. I saw your friends.
Yeah.
Friends came over and got the passes. I caught up with them. They were all very impressed with what was happening. They were having a good time.
Their first convention ever.
How was it?
Wow,
That's the
that's
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
I think it was on this show or a pre-show or whatever show. Maybe it was just Andrea talking to me on a Games Daily. But we had a conversation about, I haven't gone to she was like, I haven't gone to a convention just for fun and forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I ever have as an
Me,
adult.
I haven't. This was my first convention ever that was just for fun. Debatably, my very first E3 when I won the contest
Sure,
to get in and all
yeah.
that. But even then, that's when I got my job at IGN. I
course.
was hustling, working, even some Gettys shit. But this is the first time I was like, it's my friend's 30th birthday, so I'm like,
That's what it was. Jen was asking me, why are they all here? I'm like,
See, I didn't
forget.
know that.
I forget
Okay,
why.
gotcha.
It was one of my boys' 30th birthday, so we're like we've talked about going to Comic-Con forever since we were 13 when we just saw things on TV talking about Comic-Con movies, referencing it.
G4.
And it just seemed like this mecca, the coolest thing ever, but it also seemed impossible to go to. It was like, I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah.
Kind of like when I was growing up and I'd watch MTV Spring Break. And there was all these
no,
women dancing
honestly,
drunk.
I'll
I'm like,
never
I'm
be
never
there.
going to be hot enough to go to the beach and take my shirt off.
Honestly, this is the nerd equivalent
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
fuck.
Dan
that is
Cortez
so
getting
cool.
grinded on by three beautiful
I just wanna
women.
go to
Like,
Key West, you know what I
Pauly
mean?
Shore getting jerked off in the corner.
on that note, thank you to our Patreon producers, Mark Starvagi, DJ Kento, Kieran
G.
O'Donnell, Sam Davis. Starvagi.
Sarvaji.
You're here every week to correct me, so I don't have to learn it. Today we're brought to you by Movement and Upstart. This is something they never thought they'd go to?
No, it's something I never thought that I would go to, and then life
Obviously, your
kind
life.
of transitioned pretty quickly, and all of a sudden it was just like, oh shit, this is my life. I go to Comic-Con almost every year, E3, RTX, PAX. I've been to at least 100 conventions over the last 10 years or whatever. That's probably not right, but you know what I mean. At least 50, and none of them were just for fun. This time I was like, you know what, if we don't, because my friend, it started with him hitting me up and being like, hey.
Which friend is it?
Vincent.
Okay.
July 22nd is his birthday. So today is technically his birthday.
Happy birthday, Vincent!
But he started a group thread with me, Kerr, and Danny and him, which were that's the OG friend group when we first met each other in 7th grade. And he was like, I want to do something just us.
Is there
keep
anybody
it
not
small.
part of the friend group that
James
feels
Spurr.
sad?
What about Kevin?
James Spurr.
Wow.
It's weird
James
too.
still doesn't know that we went to Comic-Con.
Oh, man.
And it's going to break his heart.
Why
fucked
did
up.
they do that?
It's because he wanted to take it back.
But
You know what I
James.
mean?
is
What did he
always
want to
there.
take back? He wanted to take back fun from James?
No,
Make
it's
America
just-
great again.
It's complicated, but it was just
Wasn't
like
James friends with you when that group?
no, he wasn't. He came later. That's the thing. It's this was the OG shit. All right, and the four of us have never done a trip together. just the
Kevin
four
was
of us.
not in the OGs.
I didn't hang out with this. He had a side life with me.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
You were the side chick.
Well, I mean, it was like the real reason is because I lived 40
dream come
minutes
true?
away.
40?
Yeah, 40 with taking the
Back
bus.
before we had cars.
Ah, because
And
you were
then
out in the
walk
Richmond,
with
right?
kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was in Daly City?
So
Yeah.
I had to walk from my house to Daly City BART, which is a 15-minute walk, and then take the 28, which took around 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
And it's just I could go see them on weekends, but I never hung out with them after school.
Gotcha.
They all hung out.
Yeah. So, anyways, he hit me up and he was like, I want to do something just us. It could be simple. Let's just get dinner somewhere in SF. And he was like, Tim, are you going to be able to make it? Because I have Comic-Con every year. So he already knows that I usually have to miss his birthday.
Sure.
And I was like,
You're like a
I
working
actually
dad.
don't know. And I was like, here's the deal, though. One way or the other, if I don't get into Comic-Con, if we don't do a job, cool, I'm going to be there for sure. And I was like, or if I don't go to Comic-Con, I can see if we can get you badges, and then we'll go to Comic-Con just for fun.
Yeah.
And then I hit you up because you're doing the Marvel Games thing, and you're just like, I'll see what I can do. Greg Miller, fucking man of the people.
That's what I do.
Gets me the 4 fucking passes to
That's
Comic-Con.
really cool.
Wow.
And I'm just
Really
like,
cool.
guys, we're doing this. And I've never seen them that happy. When I told them, they were like, this is dream come true. We're doing what we've always wanted to.
Yeah.
And it just turned out, I'm like, they're like, how much you gonna have to work? And I was like, honestly, right now, I'm not. And I was like, there'll be things that we should do and go to and support people and whatever. But otherwise, we're just having fun. And it was a blast.
Yeah?
So much fun. Although you can't take the work out of it. And the work is such a weird way to put it when it's at conventions. Because it's
So
like,
it's the press and flesh. It's
so
going
much,
over there,
so much of
shaking
it's
hands.
shaking hands. Because that was the one thing that they were most like, holy crap, I didn't realize your life was that way. They're like, You can't go 10 minutes without somebody seeing you and talking to you. And like, you are like just so, it feels like you guys have known each other forever. Like, we can't tell the difference between the best friends, your old coworkers from IGN, or big deal people.
Oh, yeah.
There's like every
Business
5 minutes
stuff,
you're
yeah.
talking to somebody and you're just like, hey, like catching up. And it's just like,
Yeah, it's because you're like, that's because they're legitimately who we are.
and I'm like, that's just what we do. And they're like, I don't understand how it's like, you know, everybody. And I'm like, oh, well, like someone's Ben Bellevue. It's like, I've known that motherfucker since he was like 14.
God,
you know what I
so
mean?
small,
And
such a
I showed the picture. Like, he was at the comedy show, Nick's comedy show. But then it'd be other people. It'd be like Troy Baker, or it'd be like whoever we run into, Mega Ran, like things like that. And so
I miss Megan.
Yeah, he's doing well. He was hanging out with Run DMC. That was a weird.
Fucking goddamn it.
Yeah, it was a weird thing to see at Comic-Con, I'll tell you that. But it was so much fun being with them and seeing them kind of experience their
Yeah,
first
I can't imagine
ever
what
convention.
it's like. I can't imagine like taking Poe to Comic-Con or E3. And I mean this in a nice way. A normie, right? Somebody who their lives do not revolve around the nerd shit like ours do, and like yours do, listener or viewer as well.
Utterly overwhelming for all of us, myself included. I've been to now, I want to say 8 Comic-Cons, maybe 7, and I've only been on the show floor for 3 of them. It's just like it's just too much for me. I'm like, I don't get joy from this.
Sure.
With the exception of running into all those people.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is the key to the show floor. It's like,
Is it a big place? Is it like New York Comic-Con? Like, is that
bigger
like the
than New
show
York.
floor?
it is
Like that
literally
same layout?
about 4 New York Comic-Cons. It is the
wow.
biggest convention I've ever been to.
Okay.
It's 6 separate halls next to each other.
Oh, wow,
And it
okay.
just keeps going and going and going.
When
and
we
it's packed.
so we did Hall H for Marvel Games. Thank you to everybody who came out, everybody who tweeted about it. And afterwards, said goodbye to everybody. Walked the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people all walked around. I was like, yeah. And then it was like got reunited with Jen, and it was like, all right, cool. Like, I gotta see Attack Peter on the show floor. Kind of funny best friend did the super porty thing that he was giving away to best friends who came by and like did it. And so I opened an Instagram or my phone where I screenshotted the Instagram post, and it was like he's at 922, booth 922. And I walked over to security in the backstage area. I'm like, how do I get to the show floor the easiest? And like, oh, right here. And they just literally opened a door like 2 doors away. And I was like, thanks. And I walked in, and Jen's like, where do I go? I'm like, 922. And I looked up, and we were in aisle 5200.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's just by hundreds. So I was like, all right, here we go. You know what I mean? Turn, and we just went. And like, I love Comic-Con. I've been to this is my since 2007. I've been going to Comic-Con.
12 years.
12, yeah, so this is my 13th Comic-Con. Love it. I rarely do what I used to do, which is like, it was a different job back then of going to see games and then or panels and then wanting to do the show floor on Sunday. Now I usually do a pass of the floor, and even at that is like Artist Alley, see Babs or somebody, see name slipping my mind, bounce off and go, you know what I mean? And so this one was like a long extended walk, which was the same way, right? Of first off, best friend stopping us. Thank you so much.
Claudio Sanchez was there. Should have gone to say hi.
Why didn't you tell me like that?
forgot.
That doesn't fucking help me now on Monday after Comic-Con, Andy. You know,
Go back. Maybe he's still there.
Anyways, walking, best friends, people I know from the industry, people like you're saying that we know from our world or whatever. But it was the same thing of like talking to Jen of just like, I love this. I love Comic-Con. I love what a celebration is. I hate being here right now because it's just to the point of I know I'm not going to buy anything, and I'm not here to get a signature, and I don't want to. It's just like I just got to get, but you're like wall to wall shoved in.
Dude, it is, Andy. Like, it is the most giant convention center of all time, and it is person to person. Like, you're walking like this.
And the braid. I mean, I saw.
It's horrible.
But it smells real good.
We have cool friends. Guest.
I'm gonna be honest. The smell.
You get used to it.
You get bad sections sometimes.
Just get used to, yeah, there's moments where I'm like, oh, but it's like otherwise I feel like it's a little overblown.
Sure.
Okay.
But like the people who bring kids in, including Trish, we have cool friends, Trish, who I saw a shot
so
of her with a
cute.
baby in a backpack. I was like, I would never not have my eyes on the kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like the amount of people who walk into stuff, the amount of strollers people I see clip or whatever when they're walking through.
Yeah.
I digress.
I saw
Crowded as
Trisha
hell.
there though. She was another one on the show floor that I ran into.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It just, that to me is the best part of the show floor is seeing everybody.
Sure, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
again, the best friends, like the, what was his name? Peter?
Attack
You were
Peter.
saying? Attack Peter. I walked by and his wife made eye contact with me and did the like
Yeah,
double
yeah,
take. And
yeah.
so I was like, oh, and I went up to her and she's like, oh my God, like my husband, whatever. And I look over and I'm like, oh my God, I saw you on Reddit. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah,
it.
the summer,
And
yeah.
he was like, oh, do you want one of the Porty scrolls? I'm like, yes. Like this
Yeah.
is awesome.
But anyway,
that
so
was
that's
super
us though.
fun.
You and me doing
Yeah.
business there. I'm assuming they loved it. They bought a million things.
And it was interesting seeing them all. So we were there all weekend from Thursday to Sunday. So
and that's a long time.
long time.
Did you go to the con every day?
So we only ended up going 2 days. Well,
Okay.
one of them, the Marvel Games Day, that when we did the
Thursday, yeah.
we saw Greg's panel, which was amazing. And like Hall H, I've only been in twice now, and both times have been for your panel.
Sure.
7,000 people, Andy.
Jesus.
Literally 7,000 people. It is just it's so grand. The scale is huge. Like, if you're in the back of the room, the panel, Greg's little ant.
That's why they have those giant screens.
And they have giant screens like going back and back and back. It's like, it is so impressive. And like seeing Greg come out and kill it, do the Greg thing, and like get everybody so amped, like it was awesome.
And that Josh kid came out though. He was a tornado of energy from
he
Marvel.
was.
I was like, Jesus.
From where?
One of the Marvel.com people came out. Like, so we had the 3 big games, right? So we started with Ultimate Alliance, then we did VR, or Iron Man VR, then we did Marvel's Avengers. In between there, we had like little interstitial segments, and one of them was 2 of the guys from Marvel.com. One of them being Josh came out to talk about the tournament they're doing in the mobile game or whatever, and it was like supposed to be like a 2 or 3 minute thing, and he came out like running, yelling.
It was the funniest thing because there was these 2 dudes that you could tell are like best friends, but it really reminded me of like Snowbike Mike and Cool Greg. Okay, so Snowbike Mike runs out and he's just like, "What's up?" Like scream before he even has a mic, just like jumping around like, "We're talking about Marvel. It's Hall H, baby!" Like hella extra, and he'd be saying some shit, and then he'd look over at his friend, the Cool Greg, and he'd just be like, "Yeah, man, it's cool. This tournament's gonna be tight." Like, it's just like always just one-liners, like such great energies back and forth. I love it.
So yeah, they did that, and there was nonstop energy, and then the other interstitial was the Team Liquid stuff for their Marvel jersey tie-in, and this is something me and Jen talked
Greg
about.
found a way to take his shirt off,
and you said it was the most inventive way I've ever done it. You didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming, and that says something that I didn't see Greg taking his shirt off.
Impressive.
Yeah. What this is my takeaway from that segment was, of course, that it was very interesting that I always talk about this, and I know people they don't like to poo-poo it or whatever, but it's a hard thing to wrap your head around that gaming and esports are just not the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where we had a room full of people who loved Marvel games and were so into Marvel games and so excited to see Avengers and talk about like Ultimate Alliance DLC. And Bill was like, "Yeah, we did these jerseys with our friends from Team Liquid." It was like. Like, it was like nobody knew what that was. And he'd be like, the esports team, right? And it was like, they came out and they were like big deals.
Pretty big deal, yeah.
Exactly. Just not to that sphere of Marvel games people.
Yeah.
Jerseys are dope, though. They were really
Jerseys
nice,
were
too.
dope.
Everybody was awesome.
Yeah. So Greg killed it, so we got to see that. So like I was happy that my friends got to see like what a Hall H panel like could be, you know, and I was like, so we got that, and then we did a run of the show floor, and then there was one other time we went back to the show floor. The funny thing is though, Curran was coming in, and like he's been dreaming of this moment forever. He just moved to a new house. He has his little like his own room to deck out whatever he wants, and he's just like, I'm going hard. I'm about to buy hella shit, and so he brought an empty bag. Just to buy
the panda must. The panda must.
Yeah, just to like bring stuff back. And spoilers, he didn't buy a single thing.
Wow.
It
What
was
happened?
decision paralysis. It was just like it's so overwhelming, and there's just so much shit that we'd be walking, and he'd be like taking notes of like things he wanted or whatever. But then by the time he got to the end, he's like,
I don't want to double all the way back.
I'm
to that.
tired. Let's
Yeah.
just go back. And it's like we always come back the next day, and then at that point, it's like you don't remember where the hell anything
And
is.
it's a pain in the ass to bring it all. And like for me, it's always like Sideshow Collectibles has the coolest shit. None of it's for sale there.
my
None of it's for sale. It's just like
God.
remember
That's
that.
what we break in. We need to break into Sideshow Collectibles.
I don't know what happened, Tim.
Big heist.
When we were at IGN, we had a Sideshow Collection hookup, Tim.
Yeah.
And now here we are, statues all over the place, no Sideshow Collectible hookup. What did
Tim?
you do, Tim? And they got a Cyborg
I don't
Superman
know.
coming out I need. All right, do you understand this?
Tim.
Tim.
the sideshow booth was amazing, man. Like
They always
it
are.
always is, but like God, this year, like they had this Iron Man like from End of Endgame with doing the snap, and it's just it looks so.
he's on his knees
so
or
good.
whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. The Marvel booth was awesome. That was a fun thing. We came by at the perfect time where it was just swarmed, and you're like, "The fuck's going on
There's
here?"
also the one of Iron Man with his
with the
like,
things out,
the blasters, like he's
the
like
fire
he's on the
underneath them.
rocks or whatever. Yeah.
So tight. But me and my friends were walking through, and like we were just total stop in the hall. You could not keep moving. It was like, what the fuck's going on? It's like, oh, Marvel's right there. What's going on? We look over, and on the panel, it's just the Russo brothers. And as you go down, it's just like ends, and it's like Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan. It's like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I just love the vibe of this so much.
So they had fun, even though they were like overwhelmed?
Yes,
Okay.
totally. It's just we just needed to take breaks and stuff and kind of like walk out. But that was the other thing. Is like we were there for his birthday too, so it wasn't just Comic-Con. Like we got to and they finally understood what I was saying of like Comic-Con is so worth going to, even if you don't have a pass, even if you don't get into the show floor.
The city of Comic-Con.
It is like there is within like a 6 block radius, like square radius of it's just a block party, man.
It's like what happens with South by Southwest. Where like,
it's just
these
insane.
are the actual ticketed shows, but everywhere else it's like there's shows everywhere.
Activations everywhere, cool stuff you can do. Everyone's in costume. All the restaurants are themed and stuff. Like it was so much fun. We had a blast. Like great food in San Diego. All the stuff was really cool. But Yeah, it was cool seeing them kind of like experience.
You took
it
them
all.
to parties too, right?
And then I actually got them in. I had to like really like I did full Tim Gettys like
Grease wheels.
shameless
I'm
like
30 for
not
30.
giving a shit like begging people to get us on party lists and
Did
stuff.
you get one of those big fake cakes?
It
put 'em
worked
in
out
there?
enough. No, not one of those.
Why did Nick go?
So Nick went because he has FOMO and he can't deal with us doing things without him.
And to do as well.
What's up?
Wasn't he? Didn't he go to the?
He was on the stand-up
It's a
thing
chicken
too.
and the egg type thing. You know what I mean?
Like, would he have even done the show had he
do that
not?
last year?
No, we just went last year. We went. So Mark Ellis did a show every year. He does a show down there where it's Mark Ellis and friends, and they do their stand-up comedy thing. And me and Nick went last year just to see them, see Makuga, and see all that, and it was fun. But then this year, like Mark on We Have Cool Friends was like, "Oh, like if you're down in Comic-Con, like you should do the show, or whatever." But like he wasn't gonna go. But then when he heard that I was going for fun, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going too."
Oh,
So that's why he ended up going. But then he hit him up,
So
then
you
he got
just-
on the
you
show. But that was cool. So we got to go on the show, or we got to see the show as well.
So you just wanted to go to Comic-Con, and you guys were like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So we watched.
You can do that too, Kevin.
see, I fucked up. I thought they were going for work, and I should have just gone for fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because I swear,
Fucking next year, Andy, me and you, let's do it.
the amount of times I got asked, "Hey, you going to Comic-Con?" I was like, "Nah," but the guys are going. I'm sure they're like doing panels, like Greg's doing the thing. I just thought there was gonna be like Tim was hosting something.
Yeah.
Man, I'm an idiot.
This is
I
what
just don't
happens when you're
listen.
gone for a week.
I just
man.
don't listen.
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Then we got to see Nick's thing, which was awesome because like that was just another cool thing for us to get to do and like get into and whatever. Makuga's great, obviously. Mark Ellis, to this day, the best stand-up comedian I've seen in my life. Dude, he's so good and so versatile. Every time I've seen him perform, which is now like 4 times, completely different sets, and like his sets are 30, 40 minutes. Like it's
Crazy.
very, very impressive.
It's wild to see him perform.
And when he does Comic-Con sets, like he does Comic-Con jokes and they're funny. Like
Yeah.
it's real good stuff. Nick killed it. And the best friend showed up. I was so
Did they?
impressed, man. Yeah. Like I thought Nick was going to go up first. You know what I mean? Cause like, oh, Mark Ellis and friends. It's like, oh, well, Nick's a new friend.
I guess
You know
that
what I mean?
counts as a friend.
But he didn't. He went up last, like right before Mark did.
wow.
And by far the biggest like reaction from the crowd. So I was like, that's really cool.
Fuck yeah.
This is
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I got to hang out with a lot of best friends at the show too, so that was a lot of fun. But then yeah, we got to go to some like big deal parties. Like we went to the fandom party,
That
which
was
is
one with
on.
Cirque du Soleil, and then
Cirque du
doing-
Soleil was there. Someone jumped out of the okay, so it's the roof of the Hard Rock Hotel.
float, right?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the floats are called. It is the coolest venue I've ever been to, ever. IGN used to throw their parties there.
Is this
for
the Hard
many
Rock
years.
across the street from the convention center?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the okay.
Where IGN used to always be.
Yeah.
Hard Rock does like in there is where IGN does their live shows.
Right.
On the roof there's a pool, there's like a giant space for like
And
a
Marvel
stage
has
and
done,
stuff.
or Disney has done parties up there as well, or something.
I mean, everyone does parties.
Yeah.
Like that's the place people do parties.
Yeah.
But this year, fandom did, and so it's like it's the roof, but then next to it, there's like hotel towers. You know, so those towers have windows, so people that are staying at the hotel can kind of look out and see the party. But they were doing this weird like Cirque du Soleil installation, and they had people like jumping out of random hotel windows, like zip lining and doing like Cirque du Soleil coming down. It was insane.
Did you see Bromley's tweet?
Did he busted his?
That but before then he had tweeted it was that he was staying at that hotel, and they had texted him that day being like, "Hey, rocker, like they're doing this thing out there, so if you could shut your blackout curtains from 9 to 9:15, it'd be really appreciate it." And he just texted back, "No, pay me. I gotta see this shit show," or something like that.
Well, that's hilarious. I saw him there actually.
Do you know how he hurt himself?
No, I don't know how he hurt
Okay.
himself, but I was talking to him at the fandom
So
party.
he was one of the zipliners.
Yeah, Jesus. And then the DJ Girl Talk. Are you familiar with him?
No.
Real big in like 2008 and on, where he like did a lot of the mashup stuff. Where it's like it wasn't DJ Earworm. Every year we do the end of the year wrap up things where it's like all the
Oh, yeah.
I know DJ
Top-
Grimecraft, all right?
whatever. Girl Talk's dope.
Don't talk to Nick
He
about
performed-
DJs.
Oh Lord.
DJ Char Alanazar.
Yes,
there you go.
yes. But it was super cool, and obviously like open bars and stuff. So my friends were like super impressed and shit. And it's like they're just having a lot of fun with that.
Right.
So it was cool. And then it was a lot of celebrities there, but it's like
You go
the
talk to him?
the
Curran, go talk to anybody?
yeah, we started talking to, I don't know his name. He's one of the I Love the 80s guys though.
Hal Sparks.
It's not Hal Sparks, but
Okay.
it's like Hal Sparks. You're just like, holy shit, it's that
Michael
guy.
Ian Black.
No, it's not
That guy.
But So that shit was fun. And then Cameron Cuff was there.
Hell
and
yeah.
Chloe, we talked to them for a very long time. So that was fun.
Was that the day they were dressed as Nightwing and Batgirl?
No, they were just normal that day.
Okay.
But they were great, and it was cool like having Cameron meet my friends because like they instantly became friends. I'm like, this is great. Like this is like what this is all about. But yeah, it's fun bringing them into a different environment that we're so used to.
Yeah.
You know, and then to skip ahead to the next night, there was another party, the Polygon party that we went into that Troy got us into. And so Troy and Nolan were there, Janina was there, like all cool stuff. But my favorite thing about it was that there was Smash Brothers set up on the roof.
Oh wow!
It was another rooftop party, and then Smash on a TV because the party was sponsored by TCL.
Was this
people.
at the Fig?
No,
San Diego.
Okay.
San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
there's this giant Smash setup, and we fucking clowned kids.
Yeah?
Dude. We were dominating that
Dude,
rooftop.
were you playing for
man.
money? You're like, oh
No,
man, how do you use this? Where's the Wiimote?
our thing, like we were talking, it was the four of us. We were just like throughout this night, if any of us were playing, like one of us needs to win at all times. We never lost. It was awesome. And like Troy and Noah came out like, what the fuck? Like you guys are just destroying. I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. And then like some reps from Nintendo came over and like Danny just destroyed them. Like, it was
Fuck you, Bill Trinen. Am I right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was cool, man. Had a lot of fun with them.
Do you think I don't want to say reinvigorated it, but did it make it more exciting for you to have them there and feed off their excitement for the first time?
It was just different. Like, you know, I really feel like we're so used to the understanding of what our job is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like education that I think this trip did a lot for them, so they
Sure.
understand like what I do. Because like, towards the end of it, like my friend Vincent was like, I don't know how you have the energy to like always be talking to people like that. And I'm like, it's not small talk. Like that's the thing is, it's like a lot of it's like I know there's relationships that like it's like seeing my friends for the first time in a long time. It's like a constant high school reunion. You know what I mean? But like most people don't like that, but it's a good thing.
Oh no, totally. I mean, that's what Comic Con is,
conventions are for
right?
us,
Yeah,
right?
E3 is a different sects of the industry coming together. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was telling them, I was like, if you did this every year, it's like you would meet these people and start to see them every year, and then it turns into a thing where it's like, oh, how are you, Curran? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I see what you're
that's
saying though.
amazing.
Like when you bring people to like something that you're sort of used to.
Yeah,
like I love
exactly.
like it's like showing somebody you know one of your favorite movies or TV shows, and you're like, I want to see them
Yeah,
really
yeah,
love and
absolutely.
react to these moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I brought my friend Maui to RTX, I think
Just
like a
made that
year
up.
ago
You
or
just
something
made
like
that
that.
person up, trying
No,
to look
I talked to him
cool.
on the last podcast too.
You made him up. Then
Brought
too?
him into
I don't know.
RTX, and like for him to be on the show floor and be like, I've never been to one of these. This is fucking crazy. Like for something like as small as RTX is compared to these
Sure.
giant Comic Cons,
Yeah, exactly.
it's always just cool to like see them kind of, you know, drink it all in. You know,
Well, sure. I think it's always I mean, you know, I think I talk about bringing Poe to something, or like, oh, the time I brought my dad to like the one time he was visiting when it intersected with me going down to LA to do stuff and be on a show, right? Like getting to see that part of it is the same way when, you know, Poe, who's a teacher, right? When I go and hang out in his class or whatever and watch him do it, it's like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like all these kids are listening to you and taking
This is
notes
so
based on
normal
what
for you.
Exactly. And it's totally like, it's my everyday. Why would this matter to me?
yeah,
I'm sending Kev some things to assets to
Okay.
continue.
Is it all about this stuff still?
assets.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I have a
Well,
question.
it's
Are you
about
ready for the
Comic-Con
question?
in general. Yeah,
I'm
give me the
gonna throw
question.
question. It's in the same vein. This comes from patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can be part of the show. Seth Pittman writes in and says, hey guys, I met you at RTX. You signed my Switch. And finally decided to pull the trigger on a Patreon subscription after listening to your podcast for so long. Anyways, I was wondering how you guys handle all the craziness that comes with RTX/other conventions. Do you take it all in and go crazy every night like us crazy community members? Or do you go to the convention and then head back to get some rest as you'll be busy running around and speaking for the rest of the weekend? Thanks for an awesome experience at RTX and hope to see you guys again soon. Seth Pittman.
It all depends when call time is.
That is a big
Hell
thing
yeah.
for
if
most
it's
people.
if it's 11 p.m. or later, or 11 a.m. or
You're gonna have a
later,
good time.
then I'm like, all right, tonight I'm gonna kind of go off tonight. But if there are some times where I have to be awake at 8 and it's 2:30 in the morning, I'm like, fuck, like this was a mistake.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you feel it, but also the adrenaline kind of gets you going anyway. You know,
Yeah.
you want to feel good and
The
have
amount
fun.
of PAX panels I've been on where I started hungover, but then the adrenaline or whatever
Yeah.
kicks in of you having to perform and getting through it is different than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I think for sure. What's been interesting is this has been. Everyone always tells me, Greg, you know, be careful, don't burn out. Like, and I've literally heard that since I started my career. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking burn out. You know what I mean? But I've definitely found that, especially these last few conventions, are the ones where I'm like, cool, I'm over the party. Like, and I'm not saying I don't like partying and I'll never go to another party or something like that, but it's definitely the thing of like, I've had the small talk, scream over the music, talk to like you check in with people, but not even check in with people so many times that I remember when we were going to like E3 and Dunham would always be like, I'm gonna go get a dinner with somebody, and I was like, you're only gonna see like one person, but it's that trade off of meaningful conversation versus how are you? What's the best thing you've seen at the show? Yada yada yada, right? Whereas like that's been, I think for E3, for sure RTX, and then Comic-Con. Like Comic-Con was going to be a surgical strike from the beginning for me of come in, do the Marvel Games thing, and take off. For a second, I entertained staying for the Troy party is what we were calling it, the TV party that turned out to be the fucking Polygon party that none of us knew.
Real quick to jump off of that, because Troy is the one that got us in to that one. So Troy told you, he was like, oh yeah, I'll get Tim and his friends on the list. And there's always this moment of whenever you walk up to
100%.
Get into a party where you're like, any party, no matter who the fuck you are, no matter how long you've been working at a company like IGN and whatever the fuck, are you on the list? Are you actually on the list? Is the invite you have on your phone actually going to get you in? It's always a disaster. Yeah. And the fandom one actually was totally fine. We were great. The TCL one, I was like, it's Troy. I love him to death.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Did he get us on the list? Did he get just me on the list? What are we getting into? And we walk up to the person, and she was just like, "Oh, like let me look. What's your name?" And I was like, "Oh, Tim Gettys." She's like, she checked the thing. She's like, "Oh, okay, cool." She's like, "What about them?" And I was like, "Oh," and I started saying their name. She's like, I don't see them on the list. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like this is what I don't want to happen. I warned them. I told them what was going on. Sure. This other woman goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" She like looks at them. By the way, my friends, Vincent Wong, Curran Wong, Danny C2. It paints a picture. They're just like looking at this like, no. They're on the list. She pulls out a piece of paper that actually has people's names on it, and God, I love it. It was our names with gold stars next to them. And like, they get the gold wristbands, and I was like, "This is the best."
Fucking roll
and then it literally at the bottom of the page literally just says Troy Baker plus parentheses whoever the fuck he wants.
Hell yeah, Troy Baker.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking Troy Baker.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and so that was the thing of like. We didn't end up doing it because I would have had to change tickets, and United wanted like $400 because I'm not gold yet, but I will be soon. And so I was like, fuck it. So then even like Thursday night, it was funny because better than to even ask me if I'm going to anything. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go, and if I'm not, I'm not. And so when Curran hit me up and was like, are we seeing you tonight, Greg? And I was like, yeah, we're planning on doing the IGN/fandom thing because they're like right at the same time or whatever. And I was like, I'll see you there. And I was like, probably, maybe. I don't know. And it was that to the question from Seth, right? It is the thing of there's a difference of performing at these things versus going to these things and it's not even as I get older, maybe it is, but I don't think it is necessarily. But like RTX this year, I did not party because RTX, I was on 19 things a fucking day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and there was the one day where literally it went up to comedy night, which I was like, I'm going to go eat, and then I couldn't make it happen. I was like, I'm not even going to, nobody cares. Everyone understands that I'm fucking killing myself right now. And so that's a show where I was like, no way. And so I thought I was going to try to make Thursday nights parties or whatever, but it was the same thing of, to the credit, my favorite thing now at Comic-Con in terms of talking to people is, this is my third year hosting the Marvel Games panel. The night before, there's a team dinner rehearsal, right, where for like 2 hours, you eat and drink and hang out, and then you rehearse the panel or whatever, or run a show. And every year, it's me and Bill Roseman sitting there talking and nerding out about comics and games, and it's just such a fantastic thing, let alone to then introduce whatever developers are there. And like, for Ryan to be there, right, from Camouflage, again, friend of ours for forever, right? For the Nintendo people to be there that I kind of knew but didn't know, and then hang out with them. Corey was there, too. All those people, like last year was Insomniac, all these amazing people to hang out and talk to. That's what I love about it. But it is, I think, a cool, we're doing that, which is kind of a party in unto itself, let alone being on. I'm on and I'm doing this on top of a day of work, which Wednesday was. Then the flight, the party, wake up early, and it was run off to talent breakfast with the VO actors and do a run through of just the Avengers segment, then run from there to the Hall H back rooms, those stuff, do the panel in Hall H, which was an hour and 40 minutes.
It was a long panel, man.
And I'm the one person that's the unifying tissue of the entire thing on it, right? And I'm keeping us on track. And at one point looking down and be like, oh, we are 20 minutes over time. I need to fix this. And I fixed it because I'm fucking good at my job.
Hell yeah.
Then go from there onto the Hall H, go see Attack Peter, leave there. And Jen and I had dinner reservations at like 7:30. And it was now 4 o'clock, and it was the breakfast where we were with the voice talent we were supposed to eat and we did not eat because we were rehearsing and fucking around and talking to Travis and Laura and everybody.
Yeah.
So fuck, we need to eat now. Went and got fries at a bar, had a few drinks, went back home, got dressed, went out to the dinner, and literally you're sitting there and it's just like we're not even talking to each other because I'm just dead. I've given it all at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you even want to go out tonight? And she's like, I would love to go out tonight. I don't have it in me to eat, and I know you don't. And I'm like, I don't. She's like, let's go home and watch Forensic Files. And we went, and I was 15 minutes into some woman getting murdered, and I was asleep. I was just done. You know what I mean?
It's really different and complicated. I feel like over years things
killed
have
her?
changed a lot.
Believe it or not, it was this unassuming white guy that was kind of creepy, and people were like, we should question him, but we didn't.
Wow.
I don't know if you've ever seen
What a shocker.
Have you ever seen Forensic Files? Always that ex-boyfriend with a weird crush. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. But you host a lot more panels than I do, and I feel like because you've had Up at Noon at IGN, and also just because you did the PR side of Games Press for so long, that like in my last now 6 whatever years you want to call being on this side of the stuff, like I've gotten to know a lot of those people more, but it's always through you.
Yeah.
Or it's like through emails and stuff. So it's like, I feel like for me, it's like, it is the parties that I get to actually spend time with,
100%.
with the people that you spend time with all the time.
And to the credit of, in terms of a career, right, it was that for me for a long time as well. Just getting in and being like, we shouldn't send emails all the time, right? Like, I remember how awesome it was. I have photos, obviously, because I have photos of everything. But the first Comic-Con where it was after Ashley Johnson had already done Up at Noon, right? And Troy had already done Up at Noon. And we were like at that point in our friendship where it was like a real budding friendship. To run into them at the party and hang out with them all night, right? And fuck around. Like the party that was the Superman 75th anniversary, right? And getting to meet a whole bunch of DC people and talk to Grant Morrison about when he was getting ready to take on, like, there's those awesome moments of it, but now I have so many different avenues to get those moments that I don't feel the same fire need to go do it. And since it is part of the job, I'm already on the job and I don't want to do it. The bigger thing about all of this is if you give me something to do, like I need to be at party whatever panel X, I will be there and I will deliver and it'll be part of it. It's when if it's and it's like, well, I'm already exhausted and I know tomorrow I do want to, like, I wanted to go to Now or Never Comics, which I tweeted all about, Instagram about it, amazing comic shop, everybody check it out. Like, you know what I mean, like if there's something I need to do that, so I'm not going to do this. I was running you through what's starting to be a very complicated PAX where originally it was going to be our 2 panels. Great, we're doing 2 kind of funny panels. Maybe I'll crash the What's Good meet and greet, or if they're even doing it, or if her and Joey are doing the Harry Potter pub crawl, then me and Andrew are going to come in with Jen and be a Pokemon pub crawl and fight with them. Who knows how much that shit's actually happening. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's crazy because back when I was at IGN on the video side, like we would do Comic-Con and goddamn we do Comic-Con hard. Like it would be in the Hard Rock Hotel room and it would just be insane. Yeah. Call time would be 6:30 sometimes. Yeah. And it would be 6:30 to like for the people, the behind the scenes video guys, till 6:37.
Yeah, you're working 12 straight hours.
Working like straight and then breaking things down, like getting things uploaded. Like it was fucking hell. And then the party would be after that.
And I loved that. I always thought that was such a great move for us because it was our party. It was IGN's party, right? And so it was that you fucking killed it all day long with everybody, and then it was like, let's go blow off steam.
Let's fucking go crazy. Yeah. And so that was always great because it was the reward for the hard work you did. But then you had to work the next morning at another 6:30. Yeah. That was always really hard. That was always rough. But you would fucking do it, right? And that was usually one day that weekend, and that was it. Our lives have changed now. Well, we don't do that anymore. But now it's like, I feel like, and this was a different trip for me because I just went for fun, which had its own set of issues. But like normally for us, it's like, we'll do panels, we'll work all day, meet and greets, whatever it is, and then party. And it's just like, it kind of just keeps going. There's a lot of energy there. But nothing was like this weekend for me, where it's my friend's 30th birthday, which, what does that mean? Every fucking chance anyone gets is shots? We getting shots? We getting shots? I'm like, guys, we don't need to pace yourselves. Like, we have an open bar at the end of this night at a party. Like, let's just chill. But of course, that does not. No. That gets answered with, here's a shot, shut the fuck up. And then it was us walking around a hot ass San Diego, going to the con, doing all this stuff, drinking constantly.
For the record, it wasn't that hot this year.
It was not that hot this year, which was really nice. Yeah. Still
you get
too hot.
No, you look pretty good.
Yeah, I feel okay. But it was just constant drinking throughout the day. Sirens, but it did result in what I wish we could do during work. Midday naps.
Oh my God.
Every day. We'd go back to the Airbnb, knock the fuck out. It was great.
And that is the thing. I mean, if you remember, and I've done it many times, and I usually tweet about it when I do, but when Felicia Day was on GOG, she introduced disco naps to us, where it would be if you could finish your work, go home and get a nap, and then go out, you're great. And when it works, it's perfect. And when it's like Thursday after the Hall H panel where I look at the clock and I'm like, I haven't eaten anything and there's no way I'm going to be able to do this to that. That sucks. Or at RTX this year where it was when I came back in between when you guys were doing comedy and I just wrapped up, signs are still on our end. I was like, this is the perfect, I laid on the bed and I was like, this is the perfect spot for a nap, but I also have not eaten since 10:30 in the morning or whatever it was.
That was the same thing for the day of the comedy show at RTX for me, where we did the Kind of Funny panel, and then I think we went and did something else, and then there was your panel with Mike.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go so bad, and it was one of those things where I looked at the calendar. It was like, well, I should go to the comedy night. There's also the party after the comedy night.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the hotel and nap for 2 hours.
And see, that's for me personally where I was like, I did this wrong. Where when I was at the industry party, I was like, I'm going to give this party
a fair shake.
Exactly. Because I've done it every year at RTX.
I know, yeah.
And I walked in and I was like, this was such a mistake. Because it is literally the same party every year, and it's a great party.
Yeah.
But it is the same party of it's a million fucking degrees. There's nowhere to go. I can't.
Yeah.
This year, even more than usual, I couldn't fucking hear anybody. And sure, it was like great. It was great to see Steve Zaragoza, and it was great to talk to Phil DeFranco and see Jessica Negri for like 2 seconds. But it's like the same thing.
And even we were talking at the end of the night with it was you, me, and Alyssa, and you introduced us to someone I forget who at this point. But yeah, we're talking
Bernie
about
Burns, you asshole.
Oh no. Yeah, just like how like long the day was, and like how like we're at the point of like, and now we're talking over very loud music, and so. And
that was the other thing for that party in particular is that I've been to that party so much now that I do remember we're talking about industry party RTX. How it's great, but obviously it's. I walked in, I was like, this is the same party I come to every year, and I'm dying. I should have done something different. But I also remember like my favorite memories from the industry party were like 5 years ago, talking to Jeff. Hanging out with Millie. Like that's the kind of party it was where you had more of a, not connection, but like it was smaller because RTX was smaller and there was these different aspects to it and things to it where it's just like, I should have used this time to book a dinner rather than go to dinner and have to miss comedy.
Back then there's like more opportunities for like kind of downtime and stuff.
A different kind of downtime,
yeah. Something really cool that happened at Comic-Con. Kev, can you go to Instagram.com/ what's Stanley's Twitter?
I think he's
the real Stanley.
Oh, okay.
The real Stanley.
Yeah. Stanley.
Yeah. So Andrew McLean, the guy that I talked about, the Star-Lord Disney World guy that like hooked me and James up when we went to Disney World. Super awesome guy. He always comes to Comic-Con. That's where you met him last year. Blah blah blah. I was like, I gotta see him at some point.
Yeah.
He was doing a Captain America cosplay this year. We got to see him, hang out with him. Great. Stan Lee, well, his account, posted him.
That's
like,
awesome.
How awesome is that?
And I liked how you screen capped it and sent it to me because you saw I liked it.
I saw
I
totally liked it. And I'm like, do you know that this is Andrew? Like, this is the dude? He's like, no.
So
and that's the whole thing. Everybody's always like, how could secret identities work? That's how.
That is
I
how.
know Andrew, but I never looked at that man and said, that's Andrew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He sent me a DM. He was like, dude, you come to Comic-Con? Like, my Captain America needs a Star-Lord.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be so badass.
Yeah. So freaking rad, though. But yeah, it was
awesome.
cool hanging out with him and like seeing this post on Instagram just organically.
And also, total tangent from Andrew McLean. His brother has a very, very, very cute baby golden retriever that they created an account for. And this is the dog profile that's doing it right. We like,
Bring it up. What is it?
Denver _McLean. The problem with a lot of dog accounts, they pop up, they post for the first 2 days, and then they stop. I don't think he's tagged in there, actually.
Yeah, I was trying to find it.
Yeah. Denver _ and then MC or the letter M and then clean. The problem with a lot of dog accounts, they pop up and they post for the first like
dog
week
dies.
or 2 weeks. Dog dies.
Oh, look at this little
This
guy.
is Denver McLean and McLean, and they are totally. I guess this is like Andrew's brother, I think, and they are so consistent with the posts, and they are perfect.
That dog can't drive.
And they're constantly. They're constantly posting stories. They're doing it
so
right,
fluffy.
man.
Look at this little guy.
Look at he's
Oh
so
my God.
adorable, dude. It's the perfect sort of like this is the formula. This is the blueprint for how to have a dog account on Instagram.
Wow.
So go
That's saying
follow
a
Denver.
lot,
I
you know?
fucking love it.
Go follow Denver.
I felt like the funny thing is like I saw Andrew tweet about it or on Instagram, be like, "Oh, my brother got a dog. Go follow." And he, like without question, just like, "Yep, I'm following
in.
that shit. Let's fucking go."
That is great. So now I want to segue into an interesting
Call them Gregways.
Gregway. Into a
even though, hold on, I'm going to keep cutting you off.
Go for it.
Also, people are always like, oh, you podcast, this, thing, other. I don't know about you guys. It's rare that I watch the podcast. You know what I mean? But the other day, Jen wanted to watch the Tick story. And I was like, sure. And I jumped to it and I was like, oh man, I seem more aggressive when I cut people off. I don't mean to be aggressive when I cut people off, as you know. I love you very much. I know it's just my style. I'm sure listeners are used to it.
Like,
I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not like Nick, you know what I mean?
Oh my God. You know what I mean? Fucking asshole. Him and Fran. If they did a show, they just like.
Wow. We got to make that happen, honestly.
Sure.
I want a KF podcast that is just Nick and Fran, and I don't want to be here. But I don't want to ever listen to it.
I don't want to listen to it either.
But I want it to exist.
I want to give a shout out on the subreddit. Somebody was like, we need to talk about Fran using Gregway because he's been saying it or whatever. And it was like, we need to talk about Fran doing Gregway. And then it was ... It needs to be called the Fransition. And I was
Wow. Holy shit.
Transition.
Well, the Fransition.
That's
Well,
really
so
great.
great. So, Kev, can you bring up the Twitter?
Yeah.
Here.
it's like a grandma. Bring up the Twitter.
So this is my friend Jenna. I've known her for a couple years now. She came to Kind of Funny Live 2.
Woo.
I want to say good friends with Joey.
Doesn't
whatever.
follow Kevin. Harsh.
Awkward.
Damn.
Anyways,
Kev, sorry.
she's
about
great.
That, man.
Super cool. She's friends with my friend Mal, who I did a one-on-one Gamer Greg show with a longest time ago. But anyways, this whole like colored hair squad, like they essentially just look like real life
Markers.
at all times.
They go to
Constantly
Disneyland
change
a lot,
their hair.
like, yeah.
They like Disneyland. It's a whole fucking thing.
Hey, Kevin, real quick, I just want to point out she does follow me. She does follow me.
Wow. Kevin.
Yeah.
Fuck,
So
dude,
here's the deal.
sucks.
Here's the deal. She, my friend Mal, posted a tweet to her that was just like, hey, like, here you are. And it's a picture of her, don't show this yet, picture of her like just as a TikTok ad. Right?
Okay.
And I'm like, that's fucking really random and weird. And I was like, I don't know if they're fucking around if this is actually her. But then I realized that Comic-Con was sponsored by TikTok. So there were TikTok ads fucking everywhere. So then now all the way to the left, Kev,
I didn't notice one.
you must have.
I didn't.
These?
I'm telling you. No. Was that? Oh, I didn't. Was that just on the riding carriage thing?
It was on all of them. It was
didn't
on
see it.
buses. It was on buildings. It was literally everywhere. These freaking ads, and it's just a bunch of people. And there she is with like, I don't know why they chose this picture out of all of them, but we kept seeing it. So I sent her this, and I was like, oh my god. And then I like looking at her Twitter, I was like, oh, it's actually you. Like I was like, there's a chance it just kind of looks like her hair.
Oh, okay.
It's actually you. So me and my friends started counting like how many times we saw her because it just kept happening. Oh, there's your friend again. There's your friend again. There's your friend again. And then my friend goes, dude, look in the sky. Go to the next one.
What?
That's attached to a plane.
It's funny that they chose that picture.
And I'm just like,
What?
what the fuck?
Like,
What is
really-
in the ads? Just use TikTok,
Just use
obviously.
TikTok. Yeah. But it's just the absolute funniest thing to like look up in the sky and it's just there she is. There's her face on a plane. What do you even call these things? Banner?
Yeah.
Like a plane banner?
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's so fucking weird. That's so fucking weird.
And I tried getting more info, so I told Joey, I was like, hit her up, like, what the hell? Like, why? And there's no real answer.
I would have loved if she was like, I've
She a
never used TikTok
superstar.
I'm a TikTok superstar.
I've never used it.
Is she good on TikTok?
I don't think she has one.
No, that can't.
She has to have a TikTok.
There's no way they
I
saw this
doubt she
photo,
has a TikTok.
And they're like, she doesn't have, like, we don't know if she has a TikTok account or not, but this is the photo we want to commit to.
Joey, confirm if she has a TikTok or not. And don't bring the other one up yet, Kev. Okay?
No.
What are you doing? You guys
Don't
are-
worry.
you're
Don't
just some
worry. Don't
bullshit.
draw attention to it. Something's gone wrong. I need to fix it.
Okay.
Jesus, everybody.
So, anyways, now I'm going to segue to a different story real quick. This one involves a strip club. So, one of the nights, it's after the fandom party, and it's like, what are we going to do? And, you know, it's that bad. It was midnight at this point, right?
sorry. Sorry. Just to confirm. Hey, Kevin. She follows Andy too.
Is that what you,
Wow, she does, dude. That's so fucked up.
Barrett, check your phone.
I'm fine with it, guys. I don't.
Oh, Jesus. So, it's midnight. We're leaving
wait.
this party.
Joey in the chat says she works for the ad agency that owns the TikTok contract. She was doing spec work.
But does she have a TikTok?
Joey, tell her. Well, Kevin, tell Joey to tell her to use us in the ads. Well, you know, I'm sorry. Just use like it for only so far. Me, Andy and Tim in the ads.
Yeah.
You know, you just play to our favorites here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
I was really confused by you asking me to bust out my phone because you asked me to bust out my phone, and it's a text message from Fareed.
Oh.
That's like, oh, the Spurs just hired Tim Duncan as an assistant coach. And I was like, what? Like, do you want me to know about this?
Breaking news. Yeah. Breaking news, Andy. Get on it as fast as possible.
So it's like
Strip
midnight,
club.
and it's one of those things where it's like,
What night?
Thursday. It was after the fandom party.
Nice.
And it was like, we should probably, like, let's go home. It's like, and then, you know, one of us, or we could go to a strip club.
This is
See, I feel like this
flashbacks to Boston,
Dude.
to PAX when I was like working with RT and I was hanging out with you guys, and we went to the smallest, saddest
The
strip
worst.
club
That was
about
such
the
a
size of this room.
Yeah.
No
With one
exaggeration.
pole.
There was
No
one pole
exaggeration.
and 0 strippers. It was ridiculous. Very opposite experience here. This was something special. And like, I'm not a strip club guy. Like, it's not like something where I'm like, I would love to do that.
Yeah, it was my second strip club,
But
by the way.
that's my thing. I think this is my total 4th or 5th, right? But we're with the
You
group.
did go to a sex club,
it's
though.
we did.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was like, I don't need to get into the details of all of it. There's a couple highlights, though, that I do want to address. One of them was mentioned on Kind of Funny Games Daily.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to nail it.
No, Greg called this. Like I said, I had
Tim
a
gave me
story
2
about
clues, and I was like, it's a butt plug with a diamond on the end of it. And he's like, how did you know
Where did you get that? Anyway, like, strippers, you understand what they are. Cool, you know what a strip club is.
Wait,
We're
for Sad Boy Barrett, please explain what a stripper is.
Yeah, I don't. What is this?
Barrett's like, they voluntarily do this?
Dude, I mean, it was the whole thing was an insane experience. Like, we were treated
you
in a
make
way
fun
that
of me
I've
for
never
respecting women?
been treated at a strip club before. Where it's like,
did you just say that the strippers aren't respecting themselves?
Yeah, what's up with that guy?
Are you saying that being a stripper isn't female empowerment?
Kevin,
You want to play this game? Climb into the ring, motherfucker!
so
you,
reckless, so reckless.
That's how you like women. It's 2019.
At some point, birthday boy gets like brought on stage.
Oh, wow.
And just surrounded by all of the strippers in the club. And it was just like insane. And he's like looking at us like, guys, what did you do? Like, how much did you spend for this? Nothing.
My next
The
question.
DJ was just like, shout out to the birthday boy.
How far off the gas lamp is this?
Not too far.
Yeah?
Not too far at all. It was called Deja Vu.
Wait,
that was an
what's the
important
gas
thing
lamp?
here.
That's where the section of San Diego where Comic-Con is.
Okay.
It's like
An
district.
An
like
important
Sunset.
note about this strip club was called Deja Vu. All right. So we go to this place. Like, he gets this like ridiculous stage show of himself. And like the only time in a strip club ever where the DJ goes, all right, everyone, it's picture time. We're
Nice.
like, what the fuck is that? Take a picture of him up there. It's like, what the fuck? So we have a picture of him just surrounded by asses. It was like, this is insane. But anyways,
Show me the phone.
going on. So going forward, there's this one stripper.
You could see the Patreon. You could see the photo on Patreon.com.
She was dancing to the song Freak a Leak.
Fantastic.
Birthday boy, right?
Right?
That's the birthday boy.
Cool guy.
It's really cool. But so this one girl's dancing, and here's the other thing. Fully nude strip club, which like is a rarity, I would say. Like normally it's like topless maybe or whatever. They would get fully nude.
No hard alcohol.
And yeah, there's no alcohol though, which we did not need anymore. And this girl starts twerking.
As you do.
As you do.
As one
when you're in a
does.
strip club. But then all of a sudden, it's like she was really, really good at this twerking situation. But she was making that ass clap in a way that you would. There was actually a clapping noise. I was very impressed by
Applause.
that.
A lot of applause.
But then it's like glares started just hitting me. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what's happening in there? And I look over at my friend. I'm like, is that what I think it is? And he goes, yeah, I think it's a butt plug. And we're like trying to figure out, and then like it starts becoming more and more clear. It's this diamond butt plug that's just
Hell
in
yeah.
there, and it was just like, what a reveal! Like this was the you're breathtaking moment of San Diego
The Eye of
Comic-Con.
Sauron,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It was just like I was like, I think it's a diamond in the rough. I was really proud of that one.
Wow.
I was
That's really
proud
good.
of that
That's
one.
good.
But
Diamond
then
in the buff.
My favorite thing
No.
about that
Yeah,
though,
that works too. Buff works.
was that the DJ at some point walks up to my friend and was like, what do you see? And he just goes, a diamond. And it would just sound like he was just hypnotized by this goddamn diamond. And it was just the most like, what is happening right now? Like, we need to leave. What? Like, this is too much.
I don't know why I immediately pictured the guy that Jafar first takes to the fucking to the cable
That's the
wonders.
DJ?
No, whoever said
That's
a
the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
So,
The problem here is that they missed an opportunity. I've already been through the social media here for Deja Vu
Yeah.
Showgirls. They were advertising comic-y stuff. What they should have done, of course, is for this segment talked about uniting the Infinity Stones.
Uh-huh.
And had 6 different girls out there, each with the right color.
Yeah,
stone.
they were not as down with the comic stuff. Like you'd expect it to be themed. It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. But that would have been great.
Yeah, I'm just saying if I open up a nerd strip club, that's what
I mean, it was the
That's
Mind
really
Stone
cool.
in there for sure. But so that was definitely a surprise. But it was definitely one of my highlights just because I just did not expect that at all. What I also didn't expect was for the DJ to then pimp her Patreon.
What?
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are we doing in 2019?
What's
like,
the DJ's
let's
Patreon?
get it. I'm not gonna like go there. But
Fine.
anyways, yeah, it's just like I just
wanna
love that
advertise?
we're in a world where it's just like, hell yeah, man, Patreon, making magic happen.
Fuck yeah.
As
And
you
it's just like, you want some more of this? Patreon.com/whatever.
That's tight.
So that shit was
I
cool.
find it interesting. There was in my time. I can't speak to it anymore. In Columbia, Missouri, the strip club was called Deja Vu. I wonder how many Deja Vu.
Tons.
Yeah,
I bet there's
Why
tons.
is that like the a strip
I don't know.
club
It
name?
sounds sexy.
But that was the thing. So
A
then,
little
of course, the whole weekend then turned into like,
Diamond.
like, what are we gonna do? It was just like, oh, like I'm feeling a little deja vu right now, like whatever, just dumb, stupid
That's
ass
funny.
jokes,
That's
right?
funny.
But then it was one of like the final days. I don't remember. I lost track of the days. We had eaten as much as we possibly could have. Like we already did all the hot spots. You gotta eat here. You gotta eat here. You gotta eat here.
Did you get a good burrito?
And oh my god, we had so much good food. But it was just like, I wish that I could eat more. But none of us could.
Yeah, I know what
You know,
you
it's
mean.
like I
Been
wish we were hungry because we would have totally hit up this like place, but we was just like, we don't want to drink anymore. We don't want to eat anymore. It's hot. We don't want to go back to the convention. It's like, what should we do? And like, we're just standing there in the shade and we look up in the sky. And Kev, can you bring up the next one?
No way. Iron Man.
Yep, that's right.
I thought I was gonna be a TikTok ad again.
It was another one of these things for deja vu.
What plain marketing firm is following you?
And Vince literally goes, it's a sign.
I would have been like, we gotta go.
And we ended up not going.
God is sending us
This was
somewhere.
good enough of a moment where we're like, are we living a movie right now?
Your phones are
Like,
listening to you.
yeah,
This is targeted advertising.
Oh fuck! You're talking about Deja Vu. Watch the play. There's like a guy who throws the propeller down and like up they go.
Anyway, yeah, that was it.
That's good.
And now, a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Kinda Funny podcast is brought to you by Upstart. As most of us have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy and getting out is hard, especially if your FICO score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high interest credit card debt. You've heard the story from me many a time. Moved out here, got into a lot of debt, had to pay it off, took a loan, terrible interest rate. I didn't have any credit built up. These people don't need that. Upstart goes beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter interest rate. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They believe in you and understand that. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in just a few minutes without affecting your credit score. And the best part, once the loan is approved, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 200,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund their weddings, and make large purchases. You should too. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/kindafunny to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes and it won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/kindafunny. Up next, why it's movement. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you see me wearing sunglasses, they're movement sunglasses, but movement is so much more than that. It's glass, it's sunglasses, it's watches, it's everything you know, because you shouldn't have to choose between overpriced designer sunglasses and cheap shades that won't last you the summer. That's why we will never wear anything other than movement sunglasses. You've heard us talk about movement disrupting the watch industry, and guess what? They're doing it again with sunglasses. Right now, you can go and pick these beautiful sunglasses up, pick your style. I had been wearing movement sunglasses that were bigger. For this latest one, I've gone smaller, and let me tell you, I'm happy with the results. Of course, you can pick a style and design that you personally like, that you personally would wear. You go onto the website, you see all sorts of stuff there. These are constructed with durable acetate and lightweight materials for that perfect, reliable fit. You don't have to choose between style and function. You get both. Is that a good material, Kevin? Okay. And Thank you. And with their free shipping and returns policy, you can try out as many styles as you want right from home. Movement sunglasses start at just $60 and no pair is priced over $95. So you're guaranteed to find a style and fit you love with quality that doesn't break the bank. They've sold over 2.5 million products across more than 160 countries, and their collections are always expanding. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movement.com/kinda. See why Movement keeps growing. Check out their expanding collection. Go to mvmt.com/kinda. Join the movement. Sounds like a fun time. I'm glad you guys had a good time. Yeah. Now, Barrett, your weekend was different.
Yeah, it was. It was very lonely and sad, and I saw no one. Except Yusuf.
Perfect.
I had a nice little date with Yusuf where we saw Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, you were going to hit me up to, we were going to do an Ultimate Alliance 3 date.
I tweeted. I never saw a response. Well, except the old man gif.
Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah.
Well, now we're doing it this week. We're going to the bar.
Yeah.
Which bar do you want to go to?
I'm down for anything.
Okay.
We want to do Ocean Ale House, maybe?
Sure, probably.
Yeah. All right, so
far from your homes.
So I was to prepare for us eventually sitting down and playing together.
Sure.
I did want to like try to get my levels up for everything because I'm at like level 10.
Sure.
Some baby numbers right
Well,
now.
I'm trying to get a whole bunch of people up. We don't have to worry about that.
So I sat down yesterday, ordered a good old Subway sandwich.
Nice.
And I was eating lunch and I wanted to play video games, so I was like, I don't like doing that at the same time. Sticky fingers, all that good stuff. So I decided to put something on to watch.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
People are always like, what's good gaming food? I'm like, no
It's like
food. What are you talking about?
nothing. You're gonna fuck up your controllers. You're gonna fuck up your Switch.
Unless
Don't do
got
it.
cereal like a horse.
Yeah.
Or hot Cheetos like a horse.
No.
Or you do the popcorn, you do the tongue thing that Nick always gets mad at me for doing.
Yeah, Jen tried to play mad at me about that the other day at the theater, and then she started doing it when I wasn't looking. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't fool a fooler.
So kind of on a whim, I've seen a bunch of friends of mine tweet out about this show. I decided to put on My Hero Academia.
I would say from all the weird anime bullshit people want me to watch, top of the list.
Yeah.
To the point that somebody gave me the manga of it a long time ago.
Okay.
And I was very much like, thanks, and now it's somewhere in the room. Who knows?
So it has been recommended to you
Many times.
You are aware of what
But here's
show.
the thing.
Okay.
Don't believe anybody. You know what I mean? Can't trust anybody. That's what I
Yeah,
say.
Okay.
don't do it. Yeah.
So yesterday I sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch 2 episodes while I eat and then play some video games. I then decided to sit down for the entire first season in one sitting. And
How long is that?
It's 10 episodes. Each episode's like 20 minutes.
It's so perfectly paced, season 1. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. So, and the entire time I'm thinking, like I'm falling in love with this show
As one
every
does.
episode.
As one does.
And the entire time I'm thinking, this is a Greg Miller-ass show. So this is my pitch on why I think My Hero Academia is the most Greg Miller-ass show that you have not watched yet.
Okay.
So the first thing I got to build up here really quickly is that it's a pretty normal world, but eventually out of nowhere, under no explanation, babies start being born with powers.
Huh.
They don't know like why or how or it's happening. At least I haven't gotten to a
Is
point
it a
where
similar situation to me and your grandmother?
I was gonna say
I know, dude. I was working on it. There's something. I'm just like, I just don't know where.
go to patreon.com/kindafunny for the
The pre-show doesn't make sense to you.
And the show takes place during a time where 80% of the population has powers. So it's more rare for you to not have powers
Okay,
than
cool,
it is.
cool.
And so that's kind of like the world building and like the biggest like kind of career path that everybody wants, every kid wants, is to be a hero. And you get like contract like because everybody has powers, like their society is changed around that, and it's a really cool world building there.
Yeah, market yourself is like really fucking cool.
Yeah. So the premise that I'm going to give to you, this is like, I've been thinking about this for the last day of how to pitch this to you. The show is basically, stick with me here.
I'm sticking. Stickly.
If Superman decided to become a teacher at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters,
Okay.
and his favorite student / protege is a kid who wasn't born with powers.
Interesting. Okay.
And so...
Batman.
There you go.
Gotcha.
And so the reason why it really stuck with me, like I like many people, became disillusioned, probably unfairly, by Superman. And the reason this stuck with me of this version of Superman named All Might is very interesting because they build him up so well that he gives off the same feeling as Superman does when he enters a room of like, the day is already saved. We've got this.
Gotcha.
But the little things that they do to add to his character and build what he has to go through, you could think that and then 5 minutes later be genuinely concerned about his safety. And then he's not even the main character. He's like the main supporting character. The main character is the protege, the kid without powers. And the reason why I think this is really up your alley, even with all of that, is this kid who wants so badly to become a superhero but doesn't have any powers.
Sounds like me.
And the reason he's chosen by their Superman...
You're a superhero to me, Greg.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
The reason he's chosen by this superhero to like be trained and whatnot is because he sees that this kid is trying his hardest to learn about what it takes to be a superhero. His determination at the end of the day, he always tries to do what is right and to save people even at the expense of his own safety. So that is why I think
Sounds good.
that's why I think I would say
What's
that is
it
my
on?
pitch for it's on Hulu. So I don't
I
know
got
if you,
Hulu.
if
I got
you got
Hulu.
the Hulus.
I got the Hulu.
That is my pitch for you to try the first 3 episodes.
Is it dubbed?
You can do dubbed and subbed, and dubbed is really good.
Okay.
So
Really?
How much
I didn't know
power
it
of
was on
friendship
Hulu.
bullshit is there?
what?
How much power of friendship bullshit?
Yeah, great question.
Anime ass, Kingdom Hearts
Not
ass.
There's
a
a-
lot. There's a little bit,
Yu-Gi-Oh
but
ass.
like
There's
How
a
many giant sweat drops are there?
my problem with My Hero is that like season 1 I was like, holy fuck, I'm in. Season 2 came along and I still enjoyed it, but a 10 episode run of season 1 then became a 24 episode thing of season 2
Right.
with the typical sort of anime like filler stuff that happened, and it happened.
We're gonna do the school festival.
So I complained about it, and then the reply I always get was like, "Yeah, but that's shown in anime. Yeah, but like it doesn't have to be that way. Like that's kind of my.
interesting.
It's still good though.
Yeah.
It's still good
Because that was the thing. Like I was tweeting out, like if you want to go to twitter.com/sadboybear and see my entire
Good pin.
reaction thread of me watching the first season,
You think that's Kevin Feige?
the entire time people were tweeting at me, oh, just wait until season 2. Like season 2, like it's gonna blow your mind out of the water and stuff like that.
I was one of the few who like was not.
who was kind of mad on it.
Yeah, I was. I still enjoyed it though. Again, I still enjoyed it, but I feel like season 1 just it set everything up so perfectly for me,
Yeah.
and I never felt those stakes ever again.
Gotcha.
But God, I can't wait for season 4. Like once I finish season 3,
I
I
mean,
was like,
all I'm thinking
I'm
about
so
right
fucking
now
in.
is getting my work done, getting the fuck out of here, and continuing season 2.
Yeah.
Because this is my pitch to you. There is some hype ass shit at the beginning of season 2.
Yeah?
That is all Tim Gettys. There's like
Love it.
There's like a whole school competition of them like fighting each other. It basically turns into Pokemon
And so
Stadium
here's
battles
the thing.
and shit
I
like
And the
that.
feel-
music's fucking
I feel
dope.
like that is peak anime. Is when they get to the part of the show where they're like, "Fuck it, these characters that you like, now they're gonna fight. It's gonna be a tournament, gym battles in Pokemon,
But
league
the
stuff.
thing-
Ruby season
3,
3. Yeah.
yeah. But like, that's peak Ruby.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like,
Yeah.
we're gonna cut all the bullshit. This is gonna be hype as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It didn't feel forced to me, at least when I started it. It feels like it, the way they explain it and why it's important for their like future as students and their career paths and stuff. It's like, oh, this kind of makes sense in this weird world that they already exist in. But anyway, that is my pitch to you, to try the first 3 episodes. If you don't feel like it's for you, that's totally fine.
Sure.
But the entire time I was thinking, this is a Greg Miller-Ash show, and I do think you'd do a great disservice if you're for yourself if you didn't try it out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will try it.
My hero Barrett.
My hero Barrett.
Aw.
Sad boy Barrett.
Macadamia nut.
Macadamia nut Barrett.
Great cookie.
We got to pick a night to go play Ultimate Alliance and drink.
Yeah. Just let me know.
I will.
Love it.
Andy, what
I
the
was
fuck
thinking.
do you got?
I was
Do
thinking the
something.
other day of like, you know how, commercials when the internet was kind of at its heyday.
When
It's
it's
.com.
Kind of, yeah. So
The monkeys. They had a lot of monkeys for a long time.
like, when internet video started becoming a thing,
E-Bombs world.
and it was like
Yeah.
a lot of cat videos,
Yeah.
and then commercials started realizing that, and commercials would make references.
Here's a dog on
Like-
a skateboard.
Yeah, Sprint would would say like, so you can get back to your cat watching habits
Sure,
or whatever
yeah,
the
of course,
fuck.
Of course.
Like what? Because I think that was like very very. It was of that time. What would if the internet were like kind of in its heyday right now and just getting started? What would those commercials be about right now?
Deep fakes.
Deepfakes?
Oh my God. The bad kind or the
Because
good
I was
kind?
thinking of like
I had a
what's
dream about a deep fake last night.
because I was thinking
What's
about
that?
memes.
What?
Good guy.
Hold on.
It's not interesting at all. It's like, you know how you like a snippet of a dream?
Yeah, but
Where
like,
it was
what
like,
was the snippet?
oh, some porn.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, but it wasn't
porn
like I was
deepfake.
watching the
That's
porn.
the
It was like,
bad
it was like
kind.
news of like, they deep faked whoever the fuck it was.
Oh, there's a lot of that out there.
yeah, I know that, but this
Yeah.
time it was like major news.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, because memes, I feel like nowadays memes just
the
they come
frog.
and go. They're a weekend and then they're forgotten about.
No,
So like nothing
man.
has lasting power
Dude,
anymore.
speaking of memes,
Classic memes stick around. The none of my business Kermit meme, the cat with the newspaper. They're around.
Yeah, I just don't know, man.
it's just different. Like, Gia's mom was asking me about memes.
Great, awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a couple months ago, and
Should
it
break out
was
the whiteboard.
Gia's mom introducing me to her new boyfriend and like her boyfriend's son, and like it was me and Gia and like a whole family affair, Gia's sister and shit. And somehow memes came up. Like
Dank memes.
they brought up Old Town Road,
Sure they did.
and they're like,
that's in my head right now.
how is this so like explosive? And I'm like, it's hard to explain. I tried, and then I showed them the video of the kids losing their mind in the elementary school, which is my favorite video of the year so far. And
He's made a lot of videos too.
Yeah, none that will ever rival
I wore a
that.
bunch of jackets, Kevin.
That was good. That was real good. Mike Diva is directing Lil Nas X's next video, which is insane. But anyways, I'm trying to explain Old Town Road and its success, and I was like, it's a meme. Like it's kind of like more than itself. And they're like, what is a meme? And I'm like, and that's like the hardest thing to explain.
It is, yeah.
Because it's like, it's not just, it's just a funny image that can, like, you could just put a bunch of different things on to mean different stuff.
It
It's like
used to be impact font on the top and bottom.
of a black motivational poster. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's a meme. But now it's like,
It's a joke format, right?
but it doesn't need to be a joke. Like,
just-
it's
yeah.
like it's a viral way of communicating. It's a language. More
it's
than anything.
it's an evolution of an emoji. I'm trying to think of how I
Yes,
describe this to a layperson.
You're hitting a lot of points that I eventually got to, where it's like it is a language where it's trying to relate something to others using general imagery and words that like will just make you think
that
or
if
feel.
you get
or-
the meme, you know the meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it happens so many times where I'm watching somebody stream and somebody will say something silly in chat and I won't know what the fuck they're saying. And then the person will read the comment and be like, you're memeing or whatever. It's like, oh, what meme is
Don't
that?
you be memeing.
Let me fucking copy paste that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a reference to like, it's so crazy, dude.
It's just weird, and it blew my mind because I was like, I've never had this much trouble defining something.
yeah.
Because there's just too many layers to it.
I feel it. I was talking to Cool Greg about Lil Nas X, but not necessarily just Lil Nas X, just how the one-hit wonder can survive so much more nowadays with social media and with their connection to fans. Because he's a great Twitter follow. He's super funny. He's witty as fuck. Whenever there's a funny image, he'll have something funny to say. And, obviously a lot of his fan base, is super stoked about anything that he has to say. But I feel like, if Mambo No. 5 came out today,
yeah.
like, and Lou Bega were on the internet, like, would that? Maybe he is on the internet. I don't know.
He is on the internet. We
But
tried to
I
get
just
him
think
for
about
prom. Lives abroad.
one-hit wonders back in the '90s that like
Are
they
you
came
saying
and
they
they
have
went.
more staying power now? Or
I think yeah, because you have this social media presence and you
I
can
disagree.
continue that shit.
I
Dude,
disagree.
well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I totally agree because it's like, sure, back then it was like there was only a handful of them every year.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Because it had the only way to become that is radio play, MTV
Yep.
play, whatever.
Yep.
Now it's like kind of there's just a lot more fish in the sea. But the thing is, it's like the way that like I'm so interested in Spotify and like streaming platforms and like how they're changing music. And like, a lot of people would argue it's not for the better, it's for the worse of the music where people are creating
and they're making less money.
but they're creating things around making money. Like they're creating, like you look at all the like lo-fi hip hop music to study to things. It's like so many people are just shitting things out just because it's going to be listened to on repeat and people are going to make money. But if you're noticing, songs are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And so we're getting to a point where it's like for your song to be a hit on Spotify, you want it to be like essentially chorus, verse, chorus, and be over. Because you want the repeat listens. And like that's how it like gets you up in the algorithm and then whatever.
Interesting.
So that's why like Lil Nas X with Old Town Road, he just put out the remix, right, with Billy Ray Cyrus. Then he put out another remix with like a bunch of other
The yodeling
motherfuckers,
kid
right?
was on it.
And it's like he can just, it's not a one-hit wonder anymore. He can literally just add someone else to this song, put the same fucking song out forever. And it's people can keep listening to this shit, So it's like all of a sudden Old Town Road's going to be etched in people's brains.
It already is
forever.
the longest standing song at number 1 in the history of music.
Really?
I think it just surpassed 16 weeks at number 1 or something like that. Yeah, look it up. I'm not joking about this. They were like, we have 2 more weeks until this song becomes the number 1 whatever, and I think it just passed that. I'm pretty sure.
Huh. It's just a weird thing where it's like, so back in the day, it was all controlled from the big guys, so that meant only a certain amount of people could listen. All that stuff remains. These songs are being played there, but they're also being played on YouTube and Spotify and whatever. So more people are listening to these hits than ever before, right? So in 20 years, more people will have listened to Old Town Road than we listened to Mambo Number 5. Huh. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm following.
It's
Do you think though
he tied number 1?
Fewer Old Town Roads than there would be Mambo Number 5s? Because I feel like Mambo Number 5 is a very particular place of me and the Ford Taurus driving to and from high school, right? And also having Smash Mouth, All Star, and a million other, not a million, obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other songs like that Goo Goo Dolls, right? Of like, when those come on at karaoke, everyone knows every word. And I feel like, yeah, Old Town Roads killing it right now, and it's great, but are there more of those hidden that are making that trend? I mean, this is what I was saying. I don't mean as a source of pride, nor am I like hipstering it. I've still never heard Baby Shark. I know Baby Shark's a thing, obviously, but I feel like it's the same, like in the old days when
you heard it
we'd
here
come.
in the studio.
No, I didn't, Kevin.
You
I'm
must
not
have.
fucking lying to
You
you.
didn't. No.
You didn't know that.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't think there's do. I know is like that.
Yeah,
Baby
you've
Shark.
heard it.
No, I've heard you. I've heard you do it.
That's it. That's all. Like that's the song.
Okay. I lost my point somewhere in here.
You're talking about All Star and there being more of them then than now.
Yeah. Oh, it's the fractured idea, right? Of like, since we're not all watching the same thing anymore. Like Game of Thrones was awesome because everybody was doing something together, right? And like, even you have other shows similar to that, but I think you look back at like when it was Must See TV Thursday, right? Or it was ER. It was like literally legitimately you came to school or work the next day and everybody had watched that because what the fuck else are they gonna watch or do?
I mean, but I think it goes back to what I was saying of like there's just more outlets now, and like it's not just one TV in the house that people are watching. So Stranger Things. Right?
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things, people can be watching on their phones, on their tablets, on their laptops, on the TV, and I feel like.
But they also could be watching Queer Eye. They could also be watching Hulu.
They could, but like
so.
they are watching all those things. I think though, like there's Game of Thrones is the anomaly. Game of Thrones also was not viewed by as many people as some of these other shows, right? So I think it feels like it's more important than it is, even though it very much is important. People are paying to watch this show, and it's a phenomenon, right? But it's like. There is the side of this that just more people have access to Netflix than to cable.
Sure.
And
or YouTube streams.
Or
100%,
YouTube streams or whatever. And so it's like, are there less of those type of things? I don't know. Like I feel like it is just different of like their meaning might be lost because I would say there's more of them, which means each individual one is less memorable, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like I think that Smash Mouth's a perfect example, right? It's like we think of them as a one-hit wonder. But as we proved at prom, no jokes. They had 6-7 hits that they could play that we all knew all of them.
Very big songs.
But it's like none of them hit the level of All Star or I'm a Believer. Like those two were the songs, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now we have Old Town Road, but it's like look at like Gangnam Style. I feel like Gangnam Style might have been like the first breakout of this new wave that I'm talking. Where in years karaoke. Doesn't matter what language you speak, people will be doing Gangnam Style, and everyone there is going to know it in the same way we know some of these like other songs. I believe it's
Gundam Style.
Gundam Style, yes, the infamous remix. Yeah. But then it's interesting to look at like just the way that like albums are being put out and stuff. Like Ariana Grande dropping album after album like back to back, where it's kind of just like MCU movies. You know?
Yeah, you were talking about this, right?
There's no break anymore.
She's putting a bunch of singles out and stuff
just
like that.
Putting them out, and they're all just hit, like having like 5 number one or 5 Billboard like top 10 hits at once. It's like
there's been ton of articles that are just saying like the age of the album is over. Like it's put out a single every 2 or 3 months or whatever because it's easier to do, and also there's just way less overhead because I guess putting out an album that's gonna have 3 or 4 singles and 6 songs that never hit, like that were never meant to hit. It's like a waste of time almost, you know.
But I mean, so like I feel like that was more true during the iTunes days of when things like when it turned to the single you have to sell for $1.
Oh right.
Whereas before you had to buy the album to get the single that you wanted. Who cared about the other songs?
Sure.
But then once iTunes came, it's like, oh shit, Now
Just
those
buy
other
what I want.
songs, like,
Yeah.
fuck, why are we doing that? They're not buying those. They're going to buy this. But now because of Spotify, I think the album is more important than it's ever been. It's just looks
Smaller albums.
smaller albums, less duration for each song, because Drake can put out a mixtape and he's going to dominate Spotify. And if you go to like the top 40 or the top 50 charts for that day, if Drake, Beyonce, Ariana, any of them drop an album, all 10 songs of the album are going to be in the top 50 charts.
I always felt
Right.
like mixtapes were like non-canon in comics. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like I was always, I was waiting for the new Kendrick Lamar album, and then he put out his mixtape. I was like, yeah, but I'd rather just have like the real album.
It's like when Disney does the sequel that goes direct to DVD instead
Yeah.
of going to theater, and it's not canon.
Yeah,
You don't
not part of it.
memorize anything about it.
Not part of the
And
overall
the
universe.
fucking
You guys are
information
missing out
from
on
it.
Lil Wayne's mixtapes, man. They're dope as fuck.
Dude. Oh, I don't know. This is the wrong show. I was gonna say I saw Lion King over the weekend.
Tomorrow.
I got a wrong show. I
I'm
can't
watching
wait.
it tonight.
I
I'm
can't wait to
real
talk
excited.
about that.
You'll be in my heart.
No.
There you go. Spoiler.
was the
Spoiler
Andy
for
face.
I
Did
did
you
not
like it,
like
Kev?
it.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I liked it. We'll see what Tim
See what
says.
I like?
Before we go, Andy, what happened to your jack? What's this thing?
Andy, what
Coffee?
happened?
Blood?
Seaman?
It's
Barbecue
everywhere.
sauce?
It's on my sleeves too.
Andy Cortez.
It's on my sleeves too. I didn't know that.
He opens his jacket. There's like this giant wet spot inside.
It's sloppy.
Wait, is
wet.
it barbecue sauce from the Nugs, you think?
No, it's probably dude.
Decent?
It's old, obviously. So it's probably.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I was
bright.
blown out. Jesus.
Yeah, that's should be.
It's probably. It's hard to even see, like far away.
I
Oh no,
see
it's right there. You can see it.
You're like, there's no possible way the human eye can see. Oh, there.
No, I think it's volcano curry. Actually,
That makes
it's probably
sense.
volcano
Yeah,
curry.
That makes 100%
From
sense.
when?
Yeah. Huh?
From when?
From when? That's a great question, Kevin. Because I haven't worn this jacket in a while. It's just been in my closet.
Stains.
You know
where
why
they
I put
go?
it-
Stains everywhere I go.
I thought you were gonna come up with
thought-
something.
I thought I
There.
could jump.
There was something kind of.
I jumped with like the parachute in my hand through it. It was just a sheet. And
Yeah.
just kept falling.
I went to go play basketball this weekend, and there was like the cutest dogs, and I swear the dude thought that I was looking at his girlfriend. But
Is that volcano curry?
no, about basketball court that I that I thought was called Rosa Parks.
Yes. Okay.
It's a park near my house where I grew
Yeah.
up, and it's definitely called Rossi
Park.
Yeah,
but
not Rosa Park. He was like, "Hey Tim, I was playing basketball at Rosa Parks last week." I'm like, I don't think that's
Yeah,
right.
run big,
I
run
don't
big.
think you were.
So I see this couple, and like they have two beautiful dogs, right?
Sure.
They have a big old lab, and then they have one about this big. It looks about the size of a Shiba,
Sure.
but it looks like a fucking dire wolf. You know, it
Nice.
looks like a husky or something.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was so excited that they came back to the basketball court, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, do you mind if I take a couple shots?" I was like, "Oh, of course." But I was like, "I just want to talk about the dog," and I was like, "Is that like a Shiba mix or something?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a miniature husky," and oh my god, I want
Get out of
12 of
town.
these, Kevin. They were
Kevin, Google me
fucking
miniature husky.
only
miniature
have 6 in
husky.
your party.
But like, it didn't have the tail.
No, wait, what do you mean? Yeah, I had a
Yeah,
tail.
the Shiba Inus have the curved tail that like looks really fluffy.
Yeah, I just thought like size wise, it had the size and sort of a profile of a Shiba. You know,
right.
Shibas have like that very distinct sort of like face shape and everything.
The foxes. The fox. kind of
Yeah,
face.
yeah, exactly. But it was a. Are you bringing it up, Kev?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
cool.
it, dude.
But now the guy thought you were looking at his girlfriend, but or is that not? That was
Well,
just
because they
like-
were walking by earlier, and I was like, totally. I kept
You're
doing the thing. Where I was like,
staring
I
at
was
Oh,
like,
licking your
no
lips.
wonder when Andy's looking at him like, damn.
Yeah.
He's like, no, sorry, it's the dogs.
look at it. Look at
its
this
eyes.
little
Yeah,
thing.
see, this thing looks like it's got some Shiba Inu in it.
Right, that's what I
right?
thought,
Look,
Kevin.
The curved tail.
It's just
the
it's
very,
a it's
very
a total
nice hair.
it's a total
Look
husky.
at the dude up there. The up. Right. Yeah.
Look at
That's
these
a
little
puppy.
guys.
Like, you know, this might just be a regular husky. Oh, it's so cute.
It's so adorable.
that one.
But yeah, so I will put it on record right now
Look at
that
his freaky ass face.
I think the size and shape of a Shiba is the ideal perfect dog
It's
size.
Too small.
No way, it's like in the middle, dude.
Nah, man, it's
What
way
about
too
Porty?
small.
What's wrong with Corey? Fucking
What's
straight to my
wrong with
face.
Look at that. I want like a big dog to like, you know, I feel like I like the idea of a big dog, but then I
Akitas,
look
man.
at big Goldens
No, too
or
big.
big or Akitas, Japanese Akitas. And they're too big. They're just too
Now look
fucking
at
giant.
him. Look at him. It's so perfect.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same size and
I
shape.
know,
Yeah, no,
this-
Shibas
this-
are better than this. I don't like. This is an evolved Pokemon. And I don't like it one
No,
bit.
but this is like the
Oh, that's an
middle one.
Akita Inu. That's
Yeah.
a mix. Wow, I didn't realize
no,
that.
it's Akita. That's how you spell Akita. right?
Yeah, but no, but not Akira Inu. It's just Akira.
Do you
What?
like Chiquita
No, it's an Akira
bananas?
Getting caught in the one on the far left, Kevin, the dark faced one. That sounded really bad. Yeah, click that one. Click that one. There was one at work at
like
RT
it.
Games that one of our coworkers had. His name was Kevin, and he had this dog, and it just you'd walk in the door, and it would see you and get excited. It would just go, oh, like a really like kind of quiet awoo, and it was so adorable, dude. It's
pretty cool.
And I would just hug it. But like its fucking fur would get everywhere. But it was just so like gentle. It was like a little gentle giant. Her name was Akali, and I'll never forget her.
R.I.P.
Kalima.
And she's still alive.
No,
You
but
wrapping
like
up?
for when
Yeah.
she
Probably
dies.
like 3 years old now.
I want on the post
Post show.
show. I got an Instagram ad recently
Oh, here we
that
go.
I was like, oh shit, motherfucker. I'm
Is it a-
buying this thing instantly.
Guarantee it's a diamond butt plug. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Remember, if you like the show, it would mean a lot to us if you went to patreon.com/kindoffunny. You toss us a few bucks, you get each and every show early, ad-free. You can watch it while we record it live. Plus, you get that pre and post show all exclusively. If you don't want to toss any bucks our way, or you can't, no big deal. You can wait till Friday when we put it up as one big YouTube video and MP3 without the pre-show, and you get some ads without the post show too. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to serve with you. You know what I mean?
And the sauce on my jacket.
Yeah, dude, shout out to that.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.